Alright, Jeskai Control, Jeskai Niv, Jeskai Treasure Map, whatever in the heck you want to call this thing. This is a deck that I like a lot. I like Sarkhan a lot. I like that this deck has a lot of controlling interactive elements, but it also just like has Niv-Mizzet that can pop into play as early as turn 3 and just give people the business. So let's pop on in and give people the business here, hopefully. Again, this deck was very strong and pretty consistent when we played it last week. Hopefully it continues to be so again today. Yeah, the problem, Tushi, again, is that, like, once you play the Explorer creatures, like, can you tell me why your deck's not just bad Sultai? Like, why be Abzan at that point instead of just, like, having Hydroid Crisis in your deck to just, like, pound people into the dirt once you hit all your land drops? So, like, don't get me wrong, I'm sure you can win plenty of matches with what's like being an Explorer package deck, but, like, once you've entered the Explorer package, you now have to, like, justify why you're not just playing the accepted good Explorer deck if you're trying to be competitive. It's like, what's the appeal to being Abzan for the third color instead of being blue? My opponent kept a one-lander. Oh, Magic's a silly game sometimes. Alright, whew. Abzan has more life gain versus red, so what you said is technically correct, but again, it goes back to the, you can say what the cards do, but it doesn't say how it impacts what your deck is, how your deck plays, right? So, like, in my experience, Sultai has a good red matchup. So, like, why is it worth changing to Abzan to, like, fix a matchup that doesn't need fixing, basically? Yeah. Alright, if they have Lava Coil plus Shock here, they could potentially kill this Niv-Mizzet. Then we could maybe be in trouble with these Phoenixes. It might have been right to be less aggressive and wait a turn. Yeah, I think we're going to get Lava Coil plus Shocked. Wait, what? Okay. Nope, got it. Yeah, you're probably playing... So, it's really appealing to play out your things really proactively against the red deck, but generally speaking, you don't just run your things out and hope for the best. That's not generally a winning line in that matchup. What is going on? Why are there electrocutes everywhere? Is this based on the sleeves? I wonder if it's based on the sleeves. I feel like it must be. The mouse over card images are broken. I wonder if that's based on the sleeve too. I need 3 cuts here. Courageous Squid, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I definitely want the coils. I feel like I probably don't want the spell pierces. And maybe I don't want all the Deafening Clarions. Expansion Explosion's probably not very great here. Let's trim that, actually, and leave this extra Clarion. If they're a Drake's deck, I probably don't mind Justice Strike or Fight with Fire. Let's do Justice Strike. I wonder if this deck wants a second Lyra in the sideboard. It definitely wants for life gain a little bit in the red matchup, and Lyra's really good at that. Good flexible card in other places, too. Really good against, like, white aggro, for instance. That sounds fine. Not amazing, but fine. Actually, I'm a liar. This hand's actually, like, really good, right? It's like, shock your thing, opt for the 3rd land, cast Sarkhan on 3, cast Niv on 4. Fancy Penguin, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I'm so incredibly sad this card doesn't have a full art. Just the most sad. I could see mono blue. Mono blue's a good answer. I like your answer of better against mono blue. Tidethinker is very, very good there. My anniversary and sub re-up is staggered. Now, yeah, someone else had mentioned that too. Twitch's whole notification system has been real awkward. So I assume they're gonna name Sarkhan the Fireblood here. I also assume they boarded this in to name Teferi or Treasure Map, but yeah. I'm doing alright, Styles. Yes, very awkward. Thanks for the 2 months, Weary Dude. Yikes. You can Teferi, Tuck, and get Sarkhan going. Nah, I think that's worse than just, like, plussing Teferi a whole bunch. Yeah, they named Sarkhan. I am not playing this Teferi out into a counterspell here, especially since they just shocked that in. If I hadn't hit the 6th land for Niv-Mizzet, maybe I jammed the Teferi there trying to get to it, but I think because I guaranteed to have Niv-Mizzet next turn, I'm just going to wait. So they have 3 instants and sorceries in their bin right now. 2. So if they have Lava Coil plus Ral kills him. Oh, that's a really interesting idea. If I would have just put Sarkhan into play last turn instead of just passing, I could have Niv'd, I could have Teferi, tucked, and then Sarkhan plus. No, that's not true, right? Because this doesn't untap until later. I don't think I want to Teferi, tuck, Ral. I think I want to play Niv and make them have it. Because, like, even if they have it, Niv still at least draws a card. And, like, it looks like they don't have it here, and then Niv's gonna draw a bunch of cards. Which seems good for me. So this is the 4th instant and sorcery to be put in there. So, like, now if they find Shock or Lava Coil, they can kill Niv, but then their Ral dies too, because their Ral's now taken 3. And, like, my Niv's drawing cards from all of these, so that's a win for me too. And, like, on the off chance they don't find it, like, they are just dead. Wow, they are stacking them all up there, huh?
I've been through worse. Ow, good aim.
I feel like I won that exchange. I feel like all things considered, I just came out on top.
Let's hold that thought.
Hold that thought. Did you mind slaver him? No, Niv's just a real messed up magic card. Getting to play 4 Nivs is pretty decent. This is like a control deck in the creature matchups, but it's like an aggro deck against control decks, which is sweet.
I've flown on Gale Force winds.
How's Justice Strike been feeling? It's okay. It's kind of like Lava Coil #5. You're never excited to draw Justice Strike, but it's like really good in like the Gruul matchup, and it's like fine against White Weenie. It's possible it should just be another Shivan Fire. One of your finest Niv-Mizzets, please.
Hurry!
Hurry! It's good tech against a big Krasis. Yeah, it is fine against Krasis, that's true. Spyglass is on Sarkhan. So there's 39 cards in my deck. We really need to hit another Niv here ASAP so we can mow this rail down. They've failed to hit a second Phoenix though, which is good for us. We're both drawing 2 cards a turn, but their second draw comes with a little bit of selection because this looks at 2, takes 1. Negate, yep. Hey, Green Dude, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
We need to move quickly.
I'll take it. Might need to just tuck this rail in next turn. We'll see what our draw is. I guess I could give it a love tap with Shock too. I'm kind of like holding out hope to like draw a Niv and then start doing stuff. I mean, like, there aren't really many people playing, like, direct artifact destruction, but, like, remember, Hostage Taker is a card that interacts with artifacts. There's also random things like Assassin's Trophy that don't care. I don't know that Bedevil's really a card that's that popular in the format. Okie doke.
Let's skip to the good part.
Yeah, their Spyglass is on Sarkhan. I think I'm going to stop on their upkeep, actually. Alright, so Spell Pierce resolves. This draws me a card, which then gives this a love tap.
I've been through worse.
And like they have to deal with my Teferi at this point, or he's gonna emblem.
Just want a peek. The weight is killing me.
Yeah, so they can't even Ral shoot my Niv-Mizzet because Teferi's getting ready to emblem.
Signs indicate that hurt. You're good. Not as good.
No, they just have one Blood Crypt, likely for Discovery Dispersal. It's pretty common in the Blue-Red Drake stack. Alright, you have a Shock or an Arclight Phoenix. You have an Arclight Phoenix. Okay.
Time for plan B. As soon as I think of one.
Alrighty, what are we doing? I think it starts with a Scry. How much mana do I have total? I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think it starts with a Scry. Alrighty, that's a pretty good one. Yeah, maybe Craterdom. Yeah, maybe. Do I even want to play that this turn though? I don't think I do, right?
You know what? I'm not done yet.
I think I want to wait. I haven't seen any copies of Dive Down yet this game, right?
The search for the
So I think I want to double Phoenix, and then hopefully next turn I'll be able to find Dive Down to protect this. Opponent's had enough. All right. Fair. Opponent's had enough. All right, I'm gonna run to the restroom really quick. When I get back, we're gonna play a whole bunch more with this deck because it's kind of sweet. Have to pretend to work sometimes. I might have missed it. I think I boarded some of them out. I don't think I boarded all of them out. Slacker Sky, thanks for the quarter of a year. Welcome back. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. Yeah, this seems fine. It's actually pretty good, right? I got Op/Spell Pierce on 1 into Treasure Map on 2. I got to play the only non-full art card out of my hand on 1. Drool Steve every day. Thank you for the 5 months. Welcome. I'm gonna draw that. Against basic forest on one, there might be merit to playing a tapped land holding up Spell Pierce for a search for Azcanta. Just Growth Spiral, sure. This matchup seems interesting. If I had to venture a guess, I would estimate that I would expect our deck to be favored in this matchup, just because we have a little bit of counter magic, but Niv-Mizzet's also very good against them. Should I accept my destiny, or is there a hidden strategy I'm missing? Yeah, I'd recommend trying best of 3. Best of 3 tends to have a lot less variance than best of 1. Warlock, thanks for the 14 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Let's actually leave up double blue here so we can bluff a counterspell. So, next turn, I actually get to scry with map, play Niv, and hold Spell Pierce up. Which is, like, pretty good sequence. Ah, yes. Yeah, if you're one of the many people in the world who has Amazon Prime with the Twitch Prime there, you do have to manually re-up that every 30 days. And I appreciate the people that stop in and do. Yeah, this is fine. Sans Seraph, checking in for the 4th month. And Noob Ally, thanks for the 2nd month resubscription there. I appreciate it. They are getting pretty unfortunate with their mana over there. Red, red. The Decadent with the Prime support. Thanks for shipping your Beza bucks this way this month. I appreciate that. Keeping me employed. Even if they had hit their lands, they'd be in a pretty bad spot here. But without them, the Niv-Mizzet should close things out real quick. Especially on the back of my boy spell, with the back of my boy Spell Pierce here. And you mean get more linear. So, in general, in best of 1, we refer to decks as, in general in Magic, we refer to decks as being linear if they're trying to ignore what their opponent is doing. So, in best of 1, decks that are generally less interactive tend to be stronger choices because there's less room to respond when you need to be, responding to what other people are doing is less good when there's lots of other things your opponent, you could be needing to respond to. Niv's great because not only is he a quick clock, but he means that they just want to sit there and durdle without taking him off the table. They just can't because he just lets me draw cards and deals damage to them while doing so. A couple of people have asked about Demystify in the sideboard as opposed to Invoke the Divine, and this is definitely a matchup where the Demystify is much better. Being efficient in terms of 1 mana is really potent. Alright, so we're going to check out our options here, hoping to find a dive down. We had 4 looks at a dive down here. So, I wouldn't say that Mono Red is a deck that doesn't have any interaction in it. What I would say is that Mono Red is a deck that has very flexible interaction, right? So, like, Mono Red as a deck is incredibly interactive when being interactive is good. But when being interactive isn't good, the Mono Red deck just takes what would be interaction and deals damage to your face with it. Is basically what it comes down to. Wonder, it's possible I should have played Sarkhan plus Tim played Niv there. That's probably what I should have done. Howls, thanks for the half a year. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. This is flipping over for them. No bounce Azcanta to be super safe. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to do that. Maybe that's the line. I guess tucking Azcanta makes it pretty hard for us to lose. I agree with that suggestion. That's true. That's like the appeal to digging with Teferi, is that like I get to draw dive down. But they stumbled and fumbled, so I think most roads were leading to Rome there. Binding's good, Demystify's good, Stroke's good, a couple of negates are good, Legion Warboss is great. These Lava Coils, these Deafening Clarions. I think Rekindling Phoenix is probably too slow too. Rest of this seems pretty reasonable. I like Shock because sometimes these decks board into creatures post-board, and this card's also just reach. It also just like a 1-mana cantrip with one of our Niv-Mizzets in play, which is great. This deck is such a hodgepodge of like random 1s and 2s and 3s. It's like all these things are kind of close, but not really. Magic only rotates once per year, and that's in October. So all of the sets that are legal now will remain legal when War of the Spark releases. So, counting War of the Spark as a future set, the Magic doesn't rotate for 3 more sets. So there's going to be War, another set, and then the set after the one after War is the one where things actually rotate. Yeah, there was a very brief period of time where they flirted with rotating twice per year, and they quickly changed it back because they're cowards. Ooh, that's a good one. Yeah, so there was a new Nicol Bolas card leaked in a set of things that went on Reddit. No, so the problem is, Holy Flab, as an outsider looking in, it really feels like the people who make decisions at Wizards of the Coast have a hard time distinguishing correlation from causation. So when they pushed into having a twice-a-year standard rotation, numbers of people playing standard dropped pretty significantly. But the problem is, at the same time that was happening, standard was also in one of the worst standards that we had had in a long time. So while, yes, when they moved to more often rotation, they had less people playing standard, I think standard would be... Well, here's the other thing, too. So... And this is something I need to write an article talking about this at some point. So people talk about how, well, if your cards rotate more often, it's harder to keep up with. Did you know the way standard rotation happens right now, all sets aren't legal for the same amount, not even close? In Magic's current standard format, there are some sets that are legal for 2 years, and there are some sets that are only legal for 15 months. So the faster rotation only actually made rotation happen faster for 2 out of half the sets they release. In my opinion, something that I really wish they would have tried is I wish they would have kept twice-a-year standard rotation, but I wish they would have made all sets legal for 21 and 24 months. Then you would appease the people who were complaining that their cards weren't legal for a long enough time, but you would also have the format pivot and change in a significant way twice per year instead of only once per year. So everyone would get to play with all their cards longer, but you would get things that the actual format changing more often. So it doesn't look like it, but I actually have both Negate and Spell Pierce up right now, because if I flip Treasure Map, it makes 3 tokens, which is great. So we're in a pretty dominating position here, based on the cards in our hand. I'd be very surprised if we lose from this spot. How's this deck felt so far? Really good. This is our second time playing this deck, and I really liked it last time we played it too. Felt super reasonable then as well. I agree. I am super looking forward to Arena Modern. Actually, it was funny. I was just looking at my metrics the other day, and my the viewer count's down on Twitch too because of the time of the cycle we're in, but my YouTube channel, like, watch time is actually as low as it was when before I was even streaming Arena, when I was just doing Magic Online full time, because people are so spent on the current standard. Yeah, I think if you think you would enjoy playing it, I think this deck's very good, Geo. I also think things like Clarion and the Dual Lands are cards that will see play in lots of different decks, so I think they're not a waste to craft, if that makes sense. How do I feel about them starting the Arena format at Kaladesh? I think it would be fine. Once upon a time, I said I didn't think that would be a good idea, but the fact that, like, Wilderness Reclamation exists now, like, starting at Kaladesh can't possibly be worse than Wilderness Reclamation, knock on wood, so I think I'd be pretty okay with it. I'm gonna go ahead and Spell Pierce this Chemister's Insight here, because there's a good chance the Spell Pierce doesn't have any more text the rest of this game because of how many lands they have, and I want to just cut them off of being able to find their meaningful cards at this point. Awesome. Yeah, and don't get me wrong, like, there's still plenty of people watching the YouTube stuff. It's just not nearly as high as it was at the start of the cycle. Because for a short while there, my YouTube traffic had, like, almost doubled compared to what it was when I was doing just Modern. And now it's kind of died back down, which makes sense. I'm still new-ish to doing a bunch of standard content, personally. For a long time, I was doing only Modern. I could watch with 3 more accounts. No need to do that. Don't pump the numbers up artificially. Yeah, I agree, Panza. I think there could be a chance that things really change with this set, which would be sweet. Hopefully, we get some good upgrades for existing decks and get some new ideas in as well. What are we losing with today? We lost with a bunch of different things, and then we've been winning with this deck so far, Maddie. I think I might play this deck on Thursday. It seems really good. It was really good last time we played it. We're playing against William Jensen now. Had a lot of good streamer matches today. I might regret shocking into Steam Vents on one here against Basic Mountain. We'll see. Optics doesn't look good. I'm gonna go ahead and jam Treasure Map here. I don't have any instant speed removal, and I think Spell Pierce is not super likely to be useful this turn. I am gonna want Spell Pierce up next turn, though, in the face of, like a Frenzy, maybe. Although no plays so far make me think maybe they're playing a more mid-range build. I'm gonna go ahead and keep that land, I think. Oh, that was the wrong land, right? I can't opt and Spell Pierce now. Hey, that was a mistake. It's gonna cash this in as a game 4. Arclight Phoenix. Okay. I think I'm just going to guarantee my land drops here. Next turn, we'll get to flip Treasure Map, which lets us play Niv plus hold up Dive Down on Niv, which is just absurd. Yeah, it looks like they're playing Steamkin, which is probably a pretty good matchup for me, based on my experience playing this archetype in the past. Like, Niv-Mizzet is absurd against the Steamkin deck. Yep. I'm actually going to go ahead and opt here, looking for a shock. Oh, you know what? Am I supposed to save? Maybe I'm supposed to save the op for after I flip Niv over. I can see that. Things I don't need. A third Niv. And then I don't even have to block with Niv here to risk him dying, I don't think. Well, I guess I don't even risk him dying, right? Because I have the dive down. And next turn, Niv gets to Clarion and gain a bunch of life. The hidden mode Clarion plus Niv-Mizzet is so good against these red decks. Basically, MTG lore is the answer to your question. G-O-double-T. There are MTG Vorthos reasons for those names. Yikes, are they about to double Carnival this? This is not going to end well for them. Oh, they had to deal damage to me for that. Yep. Under the water, Niv. Under the sea, under the sea, do 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 do. Niv brought friends. Yep. Yeah, Treasure Map goes in a lot of stuff. I lovingly refer to Treasure Map as jank glue. It kind of holds together a lot of these fringe decks in the format. I think there's a good chance with the new non-rotating format coming up too that this card is good next season as well. But I want to trim here. I need 5 trims still. How do we feel about cutting Teferi? I think I'd rather cut Teferi before I cut Sarkhan or Treasure Map. Like, both of these kind of generate extra cards for me, but Teferi's more expensive, and he doesn't help me ramp into Niv sooner. Is this many negates too many? This many negates might be too many. Could also see Justice Strike not being reasonable, because I have Shock and Lava Coil and Shivan Fire already. Yeah, they actually exiled the ping wall when we were playing against them, so we know they have ping wall. Yeah, let's give this a go. Didn't see this deck last time you played. Does it have any really bad matchups? I'm not sure how we line up against Sultai necessarily, but one of the things I like about this deck is that even though it has a lot of controlling elements to it, it has a lot of really proactive tools as well. So, like, there's games where you're just like, oh, this matchup's hard, but you can just, like, run them over. I might get punished for not shocking and being able to Spell Pierce a Tormenting Voice here, but outside of Tormenting Voice, I really don't want to hold Spell Pierce up. Was really hoping to draw a shock there. We unfortunately did not. What about a Paywall, Time Lord? Ooh. These Spell Pierces have been so absurd. Just unreasonably good. Ping Wall, Time Lord. The, I'm blanking on its name. Electrostatic Field, Ping Wall. The one that deals the damage every time you cast an instant or sorcery, basically. Yeah, I mean, so... I actually think it might be a more apt description to describe this as more of a mid-range deck than a control deck. Or, like, it's kind of like a combo control deck in a way. Like, this deck, against aggro decks, it assumes a controlling role, but against control decks, it's the beatdown, right? Which is kind of how I like to play. This is definitely a style of deck I can get behind. Hey, Shot, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Niv-Mizzet. Niv-Mizzet are also just, like, randomly really good in a lot of different spots in this format. Just like, hey, look at me, I'm wonderful. I'm wonderful. Niv hidden decks. I mean, Niv-Mizzet often reads, if you untap with this, win the game. So, like, this hand's great. The fact this deck gets to play Deafening Clarion is really good in a lot of places, too. It might be right to keep that because it digs me one deeper. I have everything but the Sarkhans for this deck. Any good substitutions? You could play a 4th treasure map and maybe some search for Azcantas. 4th treasure map's a good one. Sarkhan. Sarkhan is also great. You won't be super sad crafting him, but yeah, all right. This is just like, experience this game before you decide you need to not craft Sarkhan. Just like, how does turn 4 Niv-Mizzet on the play sound? Pretty good. Logman, thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. The Jeskai deck's been great so far today. I think unless Matthew can talk me out of it, I'm probably going to play this on Thursday. Feels real good. What's the event on Thursday? It is a 16-player streamer tournament hosted by a site called Fandom Legends. It's starting at, I believe, 1 o'clock Central Standard Time. So I'm gonna do 2 modern leagues that morning. I'm gonna take an hour or so off to go get lunch, and then I'll come back and I'll be streaming on a delay. Alright, they have 10 mana here, right? Which means they can actually Expansion Explosion kill my Niv, right? Opponent. My opponent confirmed hates themselves and others because not only are they playing Wilderness Reclamation, but they're also manually tapping while doing so. Yikes. Unfortunately, the rest of our hand doesn't really do anything here, so we're probably dead from here on out because Expansion Explosion's a lot like Hydroid Crease, is that the first one draws you more copies.
Don't doubt my methods.
You have to manually tap to get the first 5 in the pool, but the second 5 that they then manually tapped is not required, and they manually tapped to cast this Wilderness Reclamation on 4 for all of their mana. Yeah, that's literally the deck our opponent is playing, Aussie Bands. This does let them Expansion Explosion to kill Teferi, but if they want to do that and only draw 2 cards with it, I think I'm okay with that. Sarkhan's also working up towards ultimating here, so we got that going. They have a Niv-Mizzet of their own.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
I'm not done yet. Oh, that's a good draw. So this makes mana. And now this lets Lava Coil kill their Niv. Because Niv adds 1 damage to all your burn spells.
I won't let you win.
Love. 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 Do 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 beep 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 do 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 beep 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 do do do. A good game so far. Some good back and forth. Sorry, I'm surprised this game feels as close as it does, considering they drew 6 cards on turn 5. Yep. So they have 3 plus 7, so they have 10 mana total here. Does their deck play sweepers that can handle 5/5 dragons? I don't believe so. Not usually. They're playing the Nexus of Fate build. Alright, so it looks like they have another Expansion Explosion here. So if that's the case, I get 2 draws at Dive Down and Spell Pierce. So I get 1 draw off of this, and then I get 1 draw off of my Shock. It's like we're gonna flood out and die. Although I guess if they're not playing the Wilderness, if they're not playing the Nexus of Fate version, Sarkhan Ultimate might get us through here.
Let's skip to the good part. Your end has arrived. You will. I'll show you unhinged.
Alright, you're a couple cards late, Spell Pierce, but better late than never, I guess. It's not as good as our copy of Negate. We have one of those in our main deck. They have a Niv-Mizzet here. Niv-Mizzet might let them power through these dragons. Am I dead to Explosion? They have 2 plus 8, so they have 10 mana. So Explosion deals 12, 13 damage to me. Alright, they might end up in a position here where they have to... Oh, jeez. Yep. Well. Well, if we drew Negate here, we would have savaged them. Unfortunately, we do not have our Negate. It does copy the kicker. And now, unfortunately, in order to spell pierce this, they get to kill my Teferi.
Hey, that was uncalled for.
But like they're at 15 here now. Although I guess if I draw another burn spell next turn and take out this Niv, I'm through 3 of their expansion explosions, and I'm through.
I don't need this. I need this.
That's Teferi. All right. I mean, I think I just like do this and tuck your thing in. It's like tell Niv to go tuck himself. They're at 15, chat. I have 10. I have 10 power. Yep, they're using Shivan Fire to finish off my Teferi.
Time will tell. You need to take a time out.
You need to take a timeout. Yes, you do. Alright, and again here, like, they need to like get their stuff going while killing both these dragons, so play second Sarkhan and loot. No, I don't think so. Maybe, I guess I would have had a land there. Yeah, maybe I'm supposed to do that. So they don't have enough mana to Chemister's Insight plus cast Niv-Mizzet this turn, which is good for us. Reclamation plus Last Explosion kills us. Yeah, probably. They're only through half their deck, though, so maybe they don't have the 4th copy of that. This has been a wild game. Heading in the direction of dead here, hopefully. They do have all their mana at their end step again here. They have to deal with both these Dargans. They need like Blink plus Shivan Fire, which they now can't, or they can do so because they don't have to kick it. Yeah, in before Nexus. They hit Nexus, we're just dead. A lot of these decks don't play Nexus, but you know, it is what it is. Wow, that was an intense game. I don't want to say none of them play Nexus, because some of them definitely play Nexus, but it's definitely not all of them. Alright, Clarion out, Lava Coil out. I think Phoenix is too slow on average. Fight with Fire and Justice Strike both kill their Nivs, so that sounds great. Sign me up. Probably trim these shocks here as well. I don't know how I feel about this random Ixalan's binding. I feel like if I decide I want to play this deck on Thursday, I probably want to sit there and think about the sideboard. Nexus is explicitly bad TV. I think it's definitely part of it, Camboni. I do not definitely think that it is a part of it. It's going on Thursday. There is a streamer tournament going on Thursday. I should probably make a command for it. I believe I have an email sitting in my inbox right now with the details for the streamer tournament. Just playing Island and passing here because I would like to spell pierce a Search for Azcant if they play one. Yeah, I think so a couple of people are commenting on Lava Coil along with Niv in play to kill their Niv, and I think that's just too narrow. In traditional white meaning, would you rather play Hunted Witness or Sky Marcher? Probably Sky Marcher. That card's really good. Sarkhan is an absurd draw here because that sets me up for turn 4 Niv potentially. I think I'm just gonna try for that. We could get sabotaged here. Could get negated. Yeah, the problem was I didn't have all the details, Party Bus. Normally I make commands, but I literally just got an email with the details. Like, I knew it was Thursday, I didn't have all the timelines. I didn't know all the timelines, etc. So, we'll have a command for tomorrow. Once I can read the details. They shocked that in. Aramus V, thank you for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Do I want to... I think I want to wait a turn to play this Niv, huh? I think because I have Spell Pierce and Demystify, I just want to wait. I think I want to try and get this off the table and then, like, play Niv with Spell Pierce up. I also think the Spell Pierce is starting to draw dead, so I'm going to go ahead and just burn it here. Like, Sarkhan's working his way on up to ult again, which was useful last game. If they, like, play Island, play Niv here, I can fight with Fire it. Which is nice. And I am going to go ahead and play Sulfur Falls untapped rather than Sacred Foundry tapped, because if they cast a spell, it could draw me into a Dive Down or a Spell Pierce or a Shock, and then I would be able to cast it with the Sulfur Falls. Honestly, the big thing that would help in Arena is they really just need to steal some of the things that Magic Online does on occasion, which is that Magic Online has a hotkey that when you hold it down, it auto-taps the land for the first mana it can make. Hey, Kennedy, thanks for the biddies. Yep, Mondays are go long day. They have Fight with Fire of their own here. Crushing Canopy. Yep, dive down, please. Rats. At least we still have good guy Sarkhan ticking on up. Demystify is a great draw. Gives us a little bit of insurance here.
I need this.
Oh, dive down. You're a little bit late. That's fine. The next Niv will be nice and protected. We have Demystify to make their next Reclamation worse. We have Fight with Fire to handle a Niv-Mizzet when they pick one up. Just like waiting on a threat of our own here at this point. I'm gonna bin Fight with Fire rather than Justice Strike. I didn't want to discard the land here because the land was my 7th mana, which would enable me to play Niv-Mizzet plus still hold up dive down. They shocked in a land and then didn't do anything. It makes me wonder, I think they have another expansion explosion. And it felt earlier like they possibly had another expansion explosion too, because they were like super aggressive with a... Oh. Now I'm kind of regretting pitching the Fight with Fire, because if they have a counterspell for this, I'm going to be really sad. Guess I dig for a counter of my own. The good news is, if this resolves, it means that Teferi's gonna resolve, unless they have exactly Disdainful Stroke. So we got that going for us. They have Disdainful Stroke, got it. Well, Syncopate. Syncopate wasn't a card that was on my radar. If Syncopate was a card that was on my radar that I'm aware exists and I need to be playing around, I would shock in the Steam Vents, but holding the land in my hand makes sense with Sarkhan in play. So I don't think it's incorrect to hold my land there. Like that's one of those things where like if deck lists are like face up on the table, I like shock the land in every time. But because they're not face up on the table, I definitely get got. One Niv-Mizzet, please. I did draw Negate at least, so I got that going for me, but my opponent also just like drew 4 cards, so we'll see. We're through 2 expansions and a Niv here. I mean, they're not even playing a rogue deck, so like people that are talking about like the benefit of rogue decks, stop it. Like, the opponent's archetype is, like, one of the established good decks in the format. They're just playing, like, a random card in it. Which, you're right, there's value in playing random cards in your deck occasionally because you'll get people. But they're hardly playing a brew. I think we're probably dead here. I probably should have kept that Fight with Fire earlier. Like, I ditched that Fight with Fire earlier, and I probably would have killed this if I'd had it here. You got me? Am I dead? Just another Syncopate. Alright, Niv, go tuck yourself. I assume we're going to see them cast something here to kill the Teferi. Wow, they're blinking their Niv. Okay. It's pretty good. Yeah, we definitely had some good back and forth. Like, my opponent's also, like, drawn 2 of what's likely only 2 copies of Niv in their deck in, like, 30 cards, and I've drawn 1 of my Nivs in almost 30 cards. So, a little bit more fortunate than we are, but that's how Magic goes sometimes.
Told me I should do this.
Maybe their hand is all blanks. He said wistfully to himself.
Like you mean it.
I guess even if they, like, have Expansion Explosion, I have Negate. What are the libraries looking like? They have 27 cards, I have 33. Heroic Reinforcements is a heck of a drug. I'm like 2 hours south of Chicago. Alright, draw all your cards, Niv. That was all still on their main phase 2, because I needed to try and kill their thing before they hit the end step to get the untap trigger. Would love a Niv of my own. All I want for Christmas is my own Niv, my own Niv, my own Niv. Do 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 do. Alright, we gave it the college best. On to game 3. Adisu Energy, thank you for the half a year. Welcome back. Yeah, I think I'm okay with how I sideboarded. Yeah, War Boss a lot less good on turn 30. Honestly, maybe War Boss is one of the cards that I'm not even sure belongs in the sideboard of this deck. I feel like this deck has a lot of good tools for that matchup as is. So, like, I'm not sure that War Boss is worth those slots. I feel like with all of our main deck planeswalkers and treasure maps and stuff. Negate sounds like a keeper. Sarkhan is excellent. I'm gonna spell pierce the crap out of a search for Azcanta. Oh my god, I just dragged the wrong land into play. Oh, that's incredibly embarrassing. Yep. Alright, well, I mean, I guess I get to protect him with the spell pierce now. Let's call that intentional. Nah, I don't think so. I think with the Demystify in my hand, I can actually afford to, like, not do it. And I think I want to hold up Demystify / Spell Pierce this turn, so I'm actually going to go ahead and cycle through the opt, because I want to try and hit my land drop next turn. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a merit to discussing whether or not, like, waiting to play Sarkhan is right. It's definitely not a strictly right, strictly wrong situation. It might even be that, like, waiting to play Niv until I can have Negate up is right, too. Although I can play him this turn with Spell Pierce, but then he gets Crushing Canopied. Yeah, the problem is Phoenix is infinitely better against Sultai, and I think Sultai is kind of a hard matchup for this archetype, the Wreck. So I agree with you. Against aggro, the Drake is better, but I think the Phoenix is way better in the matchup that's actually hard. I'm gonna go ahead and cast my Niv. Hopefully, if they have the Crushing Canopy this game, we get to, hopefully if they have Crushing Canopy this game, we get to draw a second Niv before we get into the second half of our deck. So obviously this has to resolve, but the question is, do I Demystify now, or do I wait a turn to Demystify while I have Negate up? I think I'm supposed to Demystify while I have Negate up, Because, like, if I get Syncopated or Spell Pierce and they keep this Reclamation on the table, I'm, like, incredibly sad, right? I'm like, obviously this could let them get mana and Crushing Canopy my Niv this turn, which feels bad, but they didn't Crushing Canopy my Niv at my end step, so I think this is okay. And, like, if they untap all these lands, they don't have enough to kill this through the Spell Pierce, so that seems good. Second Negate. Yep, sign me up. That one. Kill it with fire. And I'm doing this now on my turn, because I want to be able to draw a card into a land. So I would like to make a land drop. Perfect. Now I have double negate Spell Pierce, and I'm hiding behind Niv-Mizzet, so... Any chance to fit any of the 3-color dragons into this deck, or is that just too random? I don't know which 3-color dragons you're talking about. G-O-double-T. There isn't a Jeskai color dragon, right? Get out of here. Nice Syncopate. Nice cheeky counterspell that got me last game. What madness? Yeah, Syncopate is not friends with Spell Pierce. Alright, I don't think I want these Legion War Bosses in my deck. I think I want them to be, like, literally anything else. I think that's the one slot I'm not really sure on in the sideboard. I kind of wouldn't mind another Lyra. So, just as, like, kind of a base sideboarding theory type thing for when you're thinking about matchups and what you're doing. So, for instance, the bosses in the sideboard are theoretically there for the control matchup. So the question I want to ask myself is, well, how many cards do I want to cut against control in this deck? I need to cut at a minimum 6 because Lava Coil and Deafening Clarion are both rancid against control. I would also ideally like to cut some number of shock, I think, too. So I have between 6 and 9 cards that I can sideboard in against control with this deck. After cutting the war bosses, I have a Stroke, 2 negates, and like an Ixalan's Binding as cards that I could bring in against control. So that's only like 4-ish cards. So I definitely think maybe Demystify 2 in some situations. I definitely think I want at least one more Rekindling Phoenix as another threat that gets to come into the control matchup. Are there any other cards that can come in against control that are flexible in other spots? I guess it could just be another counterspell. I could play like a second Disdainful Stroke or like another Spell Pierce. It could be another Ixalan's Binding. I don't know. Binding just isn't very good against Esper control is the issue. Like, I don't think I really want an enchantment in there because enchantments aren't very good against Esper. Stroke beating Hostage Taker is a big deal. Yeah, I like that suggestion. I also just like having more counterspells. So our deck doesn't have that many counterspells in the main, so I like that swap. I don't feel like I really have that much trouble closing the game out. So that seems reasonable. I'm like, Rekindling Phoenix is like one more threat. But I really haven't felt like so far like playing this deck like I was like, oh man, I really need Legion War Boss to close here. I don't think Spyglass is good because our deck's playing Teferi. So remember, Spyglass is symmetrical. So generally, while Spyglass is a card that's often good against control, it's much less good when it's also turning off our Teferis. Seems great. Why only one Shivan Fire in the sideboard and not another card? Think of the Shivan Fire in the sideboard as an extra shock. So it's not a 1 of Shivan Fire, it's a 4th piece of 1 mana removal. and we play Shock in the main deck as opposed to Shivan Fire because Shock's a proactive card that works even when you are... Alright, can I be greedy and bottom this? I think I need to bottom this. I think I want to give myself the best chance to hit red on 3. Yikes. So, I don't think Honor Guard really helps address the reason this deck has a hard time with Sultai. Like, I don't think, like, the Hostage Takers, like, we're more worried about things like Vivian, for instance. So, kind of punish. I don't know, I don't think bottoming the Hallowed Fountain's that greedy there. Our deck plays 26 lands, so we're, like, pretty likely to hit a land drop. He says as he draws another brick. Hopefully they play Wilderness Reclamation. Resolve. Hopefully they play Reclamation, we negate it, we untap, draw red source, play Sarkhan, start pitching Lava Coils. Alright, regardless of if this search resolves, if we hit a red source this turn, we will. We'll keep playing, and if we miss the red source, we'll move on to the next one. They don't really know what we're doing yet. We kind of just look like weird drakes at this point. Alright, do I keep going? Yeah, I think this game is winnable still, because we drew that this turn.
He told me I would find you here.
Have you seen Casmania? I don't know. Is that a spoiler? If so, no. I haven't looked at spoilers today. Are we in the mono reclamation bracket? Reclamation's very popular. People like making other people miserable. That wasn't the land that I wanted for Christmas.
Don't doubt my methods.
Well, it's good to have you here, Synonymous. So they have 6 5 cards in their bin. If they have a Shivan Fire here, this does let them flip search for Azcanta. Yeah. I wonder if playing that's wrong. They just have double Shivan Fire? Alright. I mean, getting that double Shivan Fire as opposed to losing Niv-Mizzet later feels like okay. If they hit Reclamation on their draw step or their search for Azcanta activation, they're gonna kinda go to town. But if they don't hit it right away, our Niv-Mizzet plus Expansion Explosion might pull us kicking and screaming back into this game. Magic sucks sometimes. Actually, the running perfects. Do you ban Reclamation? Next is something else. I'd ban Reclamation. I think that's the offender in all of this. I think I actually don't really want the Phoenixes. I'm sure 1 shock. Let's do this. Seems reasonable. Eight hours? Yeah, it sounds like the audio's starting to crack. We played Modern for about 2 hours this morning. So I'll probably get in, keep my opening hand, play a land, and then restart really quick. Ban Unboard Ego. Banning Unmoored Ego would save a lot of people from themselves, to be fair. These people are great. Buy their stuff. These people also great. Buy their stuff. Back to your regularly scheduled Magic Arena. I think I just binned the expansion explosion there. This covers Niv. These protect a Niv of my own. This kills their stuff. Abzan mid was lackluster. Felt pretty bad.
Don't doubt my methods.
Yeah, Climb's really good, J-Rock. I think I'm between this and Climb for Thursday. I'm probably going to play this because this is nifty. Nifty's a great word for it.
I don't need this. I need this.
Do I jam this or do I play Ixalan's Binding? I'm going to jam this. I think regardless of what I cast, it's pretty unlikely to resolve. Just like, do your thing. Really? Oh, it could be getting negated or syncopated, huh? You have a Spell Pierce?
I'm known for my excellent timing.
How do I feel about tagging this? They only have 3 cards in their bin. I'm gonna leave that alone for now. Let's just draw some cards. Let's find a Niv-Mizzet, because if we get a Niv-Mizzet into play, I've got double dive down, and we're just gonna take them to Pound Town. All right. I think we're going to go tuck this in. Plus Sarkhan for mana. Jam this Niv.
To the skies.
And dive down to protect. Can't be countered is such a great line of text to have. like. They need to beat Sarkhan's ultimate here too, which is great. Teferi sitting here just like collecting cards.
We need to move quickly.
Bind it up. This potentially backfires if they have Crushing Canopy, but if they had Canopy, I think they would have gone for killing my Niv last turn. I know actual nothing about the Bazaar except for it's a game that Ray Noodle is making. I think the new Blood Artist is going to be a lot less good for the Aristocrat-style deck than a lot of people are expecting it to be. Yeah, I'm gonna keep this. Sarkhan Teferi treasure map. There's a lot to like here. Put it mulligan to 5. Get a little variance balance out after we fumbled and died in game 1. We're due. This is our cumulative variance coming back, right? Hey, Prince Day. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Sweet. All right. Well, that guarantees we get to put old Fireblood into play on turn 3. I don't think you'll ever see Wizards do the scan cards in like Warhammer. I would own a lot more physical Magic cards if that was the case. In fact, I think there's a chance I actually own more physical Warhammer cards than physical Magic cards right now, just because the physical Warhammer cards scan in. Alright, I mean, if they go Sabotage into Land Reclamation and then, like, get things going with this search, we might be in trouble. I think it's right to just jam there, though. Like, I've got this Teferi as a follow-up jam as well, so they binned Reclamation. They must be missing a land. Or they already had Land Reclamation, just didn't want another. Am I supposed to 3-for-1 this Murmuring Mystic? I think I am. Maybe I want another Fight with Fire in my sideboard. It's good against opposing Niv-Mizzets and random stuff like that. And with the copies of Expansion Explosion that this deck is playing, Fight with Fire is actually an alternative win condition. Because you can, like, kick it and then Fight with Fire expansion it. I'm going to intentionally not use my treasure map during my upkeep here. Because if I draw a untapped land for the turn, I would like to be able to cast Teferi. Whereas if I scry with the treasure map, I'm guaranteed to not be able to cast Teferi this turn. That's actually not a terrible draw, because it means if they have a counterspell as their last card, I can spell Pierce it. Kicking does not impact the converted mana cost of a magic card, that is correct. Rude. Oh, that's unfortunate. This might actually pull them through this game now. So they're going to have to flip Search for Azcanta and catch back up in cards. Because I couldn't draw Kennedy. It wasn't a draw, it was a scry. Oh, that's so brutal. I don't know if there was a whole lot we could do here. Yeah, I don't really have a catch-up mechanic from this position. Just like ripped Azcanta into us not ripping land, into the negate. I think I want a second fight with fire. I think that does not sound unreasonable. What do I want to trim? I think I want to keep the extra strokes. Huh. I guess it's kind of a tight fit if I want a second one of those. The extra Justice Strike probably has to go. Yeah, it might just be better than Justice Strike. I kind of wanted a third way to kill Niv-Mizzet. Tron player, thanks for the 3/4 of a year. Welcome back, but that's probably not needed. I don't think I want to go down a Lava Coil. Yeah, let's do that. The forwards were very confusing. Yeah, not quite. There is a quote from one of the Magic Arena developers that I don't remember if I linked the thing or not or added a command that said that they were planning to add Kaladesh cards back in this fall. Do I make these decks up myself? I do not. Most of the decks that we play here on the stream are viewer submitted deck lists. If you want to submit your own deck to be played, you can do so following the ideas there. A lot of once we've played with decks, I do like tuning and tweaking and like adjusting some of the details, but no, I don't create a lot of these decks from scratch. A lot of good Magic data out there between people sending me ideas and stuff like that, so I would like to kill this one with fire, shall we? We have 4 Clarions and a Cleansing Nova. Our tokens matchup is probably okay. I would not like another mountain. I was saying I kind of might want blue lands, but I definitely don't want another just red land. I mean, they can have a ban list, Admiral. I think one of the things that I find really frustrating and annoying about, I don't want to say TCG players in general, but like the feedback I've seen from people in the Magic Beat, I feel like there's a lot of people who like to imply or forward this idea that like if they have to ban a Magic card, then like they've kind of failed. And I really think that the inverse is true. I think banning Magic cards is fine when they get out of control, because like if they're occasionally having to ban things, that means they're really pushing the envelope of like what's possible. There is not Magic Pocket, so you could set I set a reminder on my Google Calendar to pop up on my phone every month when it comes up. You should be able to set a reminder for every 30 days or 31 days or whatnot. But unfortunately, I don't want people setting it and forgetting it. Looter Scooter did nothing wrong. Yeah. I don't know about that, Marty. Think you might be on the wrong side of history there. Yeah, that's a whole nother story though, Relk. Let's not get into what happens in Modern. Do I want negates in this matchup? I'm not sure that I do. It's possible that I want some Demystifies just because, I don't know, Ixalan's Binding's not super common. Conclave Tribunal's kind of annoying though. Mizium, thanks for the 3 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I think I want the dive downs. I think I'm going to cut these spell pierces and I'm going to put a negate and like one random Demystify in. Seems fine. This hand is more than good. It's great. Stroke is good against tokens. Why? Can you elaborate? Why is it better than negate? Which cards do you feel that... which cards is Stroke hitting that negate is missing and vice versa? I don't think many people will be using their wild cards for older set format, and it's most likely going to be less popular than standard. Well, yeah, I mean, so, like, people, like, standard was so bad for so long, and by proxy, that made modern so popular, that I think a lot of people in the last, like, 2 years of Magic that got into it kind of forgot that, like, standard is kind of the bread and butter of Magic the Gathering. Like... It is normal for standard to be the most popular format Magic has to offer. This standard being not popular was abnormal. I think I want to play this. I think I'm going to discard this negate. Next turn I can play Niv. It hits History of Benalia the Rex. It hits
Don't stop now.
It hits what's it called? That other card that they play sometimes that I want to hit. Alright, so how much are they attacking me for next turn? This is 5, or this is 10, 15. Saproling Migration, it's Unbreakable formation. Yeah, I think saying that Disdainful Stroke's a strict upgrade from Negate is incorrect. I think it's worth discussing which one is better, but I think just like, being like, you have to play it. No, Domri's not in the Teamer Climb list. So if they kill my Niv-Mizzet, I just die here, probably. Sure, I agree with you. I agree it's worth having a discussion. It's like one of the things you want to break yourself of the habit of is that like in Magic, it's rarely strictly right or strictly wrong to do certain things. A lot of the time it's varying shades of gray. A lot of the time it's varying shades of gray. If they don't have a Conclave Tribunal here, which it looks like they do, I think they're casting a Convoke spell. They don't have it, we get to destroy them next turn. We just like Clarion, Wrath their board, gain a bunch of life. Maybe the risk was too great. Wow, are they gonna attack Sarkhan for 10? Oh, I like this attack. This attack is good. This attack also, I think this attack is good on my opponent's part because it like kills my Planeswalker and deals me damage. And this attack is great for me as a player because it means they don't have a Deafening Clarion here. And next turn I'm going to Clarion with 2 modes, kill their board, the Loxodon dies to the Niv ping, and then Niv's going to gain a 6 on the, or 5 on the attack. And then hopefully we hit a land in our 2 draws between Clarion and our draw step. We get the treasure map as well. Oh, do they have another elephant? Huh. That puts a wrinkle in it. Alright, so I get a draw for the turn, which deals the damage. So this gives this a love tap, right? And then this... Perfect. Remember when we talked about Niv-Mizzet and we said his text box is untap, win the game? Magic's really easy when you draw what you need. This is our cumulative variance making up for the Wilderness Reclamation player being really lucky last game. That man had a board. They had a board. They had a family. Stop. Mercy. Mercy. Or the Abzan mid-range games, yep. Yep. Since this is my front runner for Thursday, I think I'm just going to play matches with this for another half hour or so, do a long session with it, and then I think I'm going to save Esper mid-range for tomorrow. Seems fine. Corv Mox, thanks for the 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Sure, but the Rex, again, like, basically, so here's what you need to understand to actually have a discussion. When you do something, when you say, I don't like what you did, and you don't give any explanation for why you don't like what I did, you're not leaving any room for people to learn or grow, and basically you're just like saying, you're the expert and we just need to trust you. And that's not the goal here. The goal here is to have discussions and talk about why we're doing the things we're doing. So like I said, I think it's worth discussing the merits of like which counter is better there and why, but just saying, I think it's better, and then saying nothing else just like isn't helpful or constructive. Doesn't help forward what we're talking about and what's going on in the game and the stream. In fact, before the chat went sub only, that's the type of things we would time out because it's not a helpful suggestion. Please play Vivian Reed. Please play Vivian Reed. Rats. Source, dude, trust me, yeah, right? All right, got 2 shots to draw land here. If we hit the land on the Teferi, this game should be over. Rats. might still have a chance to be over. Opponent thinks so. Binding is fine here. Nova's fine here. Coil's great. Fight with Fire is great. Phoenix is great. I think Stroke is fine. I don't know about amazing, but fine's a good word. I don't think Pierce is actually that good. I think Clarion leaves a bit to be desired. I think Shock actually isn't that great. I'd rather have one Shivan Fire because it kicks up just fine. What do we think of this configuration? I think I like this. Stroke covers Hostage Taker and Vivian, which is nice. Dive Down does the same. I like Nova as a reset button. Binding's like mediocre against Vivian, but it's really good against Hydroid Krasis, because even if they kill the Binding, their Krasis goes away. I think I like this. Hickdale, thanks for the brand new Prime support. There's a lot of great people making a lot of great stuff on Twitch right now. Thanks for supporting mine this month with that. What matchup is Lyra for? It's for things like mono blue or red aggro or white aggro. Basically any of the matches where they're trying to get you dead. All right. This is where the magic happens, ladies and gentlemen. Rats, they hit. I think I actually want to keep all the cards in my hand here. Maybe I'm just not even supposed to play this, because he might just eat it to these. It might just be right to wait for a turn. And just, like, play Rekindling Phoenix on 4, and then play this after to protect it. Yeah, I think playing that there was wrong. I think playing that was wrong. They brought in a lot of negates, huh? Well then. Alright, so if I plus Tef, they can still kill him, right? How do we feel about Teferi downtick on a Land War Elf so I can play Niv-Mizzet next turn and, like, be pretty well in the clear? I think I like that. I think I just want to kick their feet out from under them while they're down. Yeah, games like this make me sad that I boarded out the Clarion, but I think it's correct to do so. Super punished. So if I draw a land next turn, I'm probably going to wait a turn on Niv. If they have Contempt or Hostage Taker, I just die. I think I do this and wait for a land. I think I can also just start racing them here, which is nice. Like, they're just dead in 2 in the air, right? And, like, if they have Hostage Taker or Contempt, they're probably using it here. Yeah, the third Phoenix feels really good here. I could even see it being right working the fourth one into the sideboard. I can see that being pretty reasonable. I'm like, obviously they stumbled a little bit, but that's magic. We help them stumble extra after they bumbled the first time. Hey, Debogim. Thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. All right. That's a mill deck in okay. Nobody panic. Nobody panic. I'm panicking. Maybe they're the self-mill deck? Alright, I think I'm gonna play a turn behind so I can hold the Spell Pierce up. I don't think I want to run the Sarkhan into a... I don't think I want to run the Sarkhan into a counterspell here. They are playing the self-mill deck. Okay. Phyrexian Fox, thanks for the 15 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Yeah, on Monday's my go-long day, Chalky. So Mondays I plan to go till 4:30 or 5 or so. They are good stuff, Kane. Yeah, all the sponsors on my personal Dallas Sooner, thanks for the 3 months. Welcome back. All of the sponsors on my personal scroller are ones that I vet and use personally. Look at that. Look at how smart and thin we are. Waiting for the Spell Pierce. Which time zone? Cornfield Standard Time. Is all the times for my stream are Cornfield Standard Time. So 5 o'clock is about a half hour from now. We're gonna play 1 or 2 more matches with this Jeskai deck before we wrap for the day. I really love control decks with a clock. They're just my favorite. We've not, Volpert. Jeez, standard time. How does the self-mill deck win? Creeping Chill and Arclight Phoenix. Yeah, Narcomoeba's in standard. I'm fairly certain this is a 90-10 matchup for us. I believe that. They've only seen 1 Phoenix so far. I think I actually want to hold on to these. So I'm not super close to actually killing them. And I think I'd like to have a bunch of instant speed interaction up. So that way I can, like, kill the Phoenixes when they all pop out. Alright, now I'm gonna go ahead and opt now because Niv now has lifelink. Yeah, I would bet Clarion for life locks it up. This is game 1. Clarion hidden mode, so good. I feel like they would have been better off this game if they would have just drowned Secret's Dust. They're certainly a super trooper. Just like trying to plow on through, hoping for the best. Maximize altitude, yep. There's only 20 cards left in their deck. They find a second Phoenix yet? How have they not found a second Phoenix? They are incredibly unlucky. I'm just going to take this hit here and Lava Coil this next turn rather than kill it so they can bring it back. Because they can almost certainly bring it back next turn. Is that lethal? Not quite, right? Not quite. Poor guys trying to fight nukes with pebbles.
Madness. What madness?
So shock does 3. Expansion does 3 if I expansion the shocks. This is 6, 11, 13. It's not quite lethal yet. And then, I'm not playing Teferi out. I'm just passing the turn with, like, dive down, shock, expansion, explosion up. There's no reason for me to get aggressive here. I don't know if I should be tired or laughing by Esper Control citing a duress against Tiber Dobry. Yikes. Alright, so if they cast one more instant or sorcery, they're dead. So I can go shock, shock, expansion, kill you. All 4 of their creeping chills are gone, right? Yeah, they were good at finding those. They were not so good at finding their Arclight Phoenixes. I guess they technically play Sinister Sabotage, so I shouldn't just YOLO it. That could be a way we end up losing. What on God's green earth is that? Surveil 2, okay. There's only 7 cards left in their deck. Is it, dude? I don't know. I've never seen this one before. I don't know how this works. They were so close, chat. Were they? Shh. Alright, what am I doing? Spell Pierce sounds good here. Expansion Explosion sounds slow. Honestly, Teferi sounds kind of slow. And why kill them when we can show dominance? Exactly. MB, hello from Norway. I've been playing some ladder on Arena, however, I'm tired of all the mono decks. Any suggestions on where to go next that doesn't require a ton of rares? Unfortunately, the way Magic's resource system kind of works, playing anything that's not monocolored does kind of require a good chunk of rares, MB. Because your mana's just not good enough. I'm not sure on the rare count. You could check out 4-color gates. Is a deck that plays a lot of gates in the mana base because it wants gates anyways. Dev is bad since they're probably going to go on the Millis plan post board. Yeah, I agree with that. Oh, you think they might cut the Phoenixes altogether? Dan and Wildfire, thank you very much for the very generous tier 3 resub. Hope you're having a fantastic start to your week. Welcome back. I'll trim one of those. Maybe I could get rid of Dive Down, but I expect they maybe have ways to interact with Niv post-board that I might want Dive Down to protect from. How's my day been? Been a good mix of things. We got beat up a little bit earlier, but having a pretty good run right now. I'm gonna keep this, I guess. Perfect. Never didn't have it. Surveil 2 extra each time. Seems sweet. They had Sabotage game 1, so I'm going to play around that here. Spell Pierce, steal. Also much happier to get that Spell Pierce than get my Sarkhan Spell Pierce. I've really liked this build, Rich. And I think Sarkhan's really great too, because he helps your... I think Sarkhan probably gives you a big leg up against, like, Esper, because he really helps the wrong half problem. No, the self-mill deck's really sweet. Hard cast Narcomoeba, yep. Oh, the lag is so brutal. I guess I kind of wanted to just cast Sarkhan here. I don't know.
You will feel the lick of my flames. Bolus told me I should do this.
Perfect. Yep, yeah, Sarkhan is a card that actually kills Esper. Alright, mission briefing is Surveil 4. Might need to shock a pigeon to keep Sarkhan alive here. Wow, that is nothing that they can mission briefing back. Get wrecked. Are they going to spell pierce their own radical idea to get their pigeon back? Oh, that's smarts. You have a chicken. Did they just click through their combat? They just clicked through their combat? Alright, yep. Rekindling is just very good here. Why not Binding the Phoenix? Because Binding doesn't stop other Phoenixes from coming into play from the graveyard. Hey, Covern. Thank you for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Ixalan's Binding explicitly stops things from being cast. I would like this bird back, please. I'll start by drawing with this, see where we go. Oh, the places we'll go. Oh, the things we'll see. Am I using Ixalan's Binding on a Drowned Secrets? Is that like where I'm at in my life? Is Ixalan's Binding your Drowned Secrets where I'm at in my life? I think it might be, actually. I'm just gonna start attacking with this Phoenix. They want to give Sarkhan a couple of love taps, that's fine. Diamond 2, we lost like 1 or 2 matches in there. I think I'm pretty happy with this. I think there's a chance I might want to try and fit a 4th Phoenix in here. I think I'm probably gonna play this again tomorrow, just to get a little bit more practice in. I'm gonna think about the details on this tonight and talk about them with Matt and other folks in the Discord and see what I think. But I kind of like where we ended up. The Legion War bosses were like the couple of cards I wasn't really happy with in the sideboard, and we kind of trimmed most of those. I wouldn't hate fitting another Lyra in here as well, but I'm not sure that I have room. This deck's already kind of like a mess of, like, random 1s and 2-ofs. How do we feel about Expansion Explosion in general? Is this a card that I want to keep playing? Is this better than just, like, playing more Rekindling Phoenix in my main deck? Yeah, like, it's fine against control, but I think this deck's, like, really good against control. Yeah, it's versatile, but it's like, what if I just, like, got rid of these and, like, put this in here and, like, put, like, another Negate in? Like, what if I just did that? Yeah, but, like, Phoenix is also, like, kind of absurd against Sultai, and I think Phoenix is much better against Sultai than Expansion Explosion is. Yeah, we've played against Sultai. Phoenix is aces. I kind of don't mind this. It pulls just like, look at this deck's just like tribal 3-ofs. I can leave the 4th Phoenix in the board. We didn't play against any white weenie today, no. I kinda wouldn't mind another Lyra for that. We've got 4 Clarions. Another Lyra is what I was trying to fit in the sideboard. So, like, moving this and a Negate to the main deck and, like, cutting the Expansion Explosion seems fine. Do you feel like you need to leave Demystify in? I don't know. I could see splitting this. I think I want 2 ways to take enchantments off the table, but I have a lot of respect for the red deck, so I wouldn't hate putting an Invoke the Divine in here. I wouldn't hate splitting this. I think this deck's pretty good against Nexus. So here's the thing. I had someone ask on YouTube the last time we played this about Adanto Vanguard. Two things about Adanto Vanguard. First is that not all the white weenie decks are playing Adanto Vanguard anymore. Second, Niv-Mizzet and Rekindling Phoenix both block Adanto Vanguard. Third, just kill them. Niv-Mizzet, like, suits up and runs people into the ground. Like, he's really sweet. All other things considered, I think the mana's been pretty good in this deck. I haven't actually thought about the mana. I'm just playing the mana someone had originally submitted to me. It's 13 white. That's probably fine. It's 13 white. This is 8, 14, 15 blue. $15 blue, and then it's a ton of red, right? This is 12. It might actually even be too much red. Although I guess it's 19. Nah, 19's probably good for Sarkhan. What's the math on hitting 2 white for Lyra? It's a good question. The website I use is a hypergeometric calculator's being slow. 60, 13. I want to cast Lyra on turn 5. Let's say turn 5 on the play. So I've seen 7 plus 4 is 11 cards. I want 2. So we're 75% to cast Lyra turn 5 on the play. And if I cast an opt, it goes up to 85%. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. I think that's fine. Yeah, Teferi's just a must-answer thing. I think I like 3 Teferis. I don't think I'm going to cut that. I think I like this. I think I'm going to play this again tomorrow, and I think we're going to play it with the 75. I will, for people that want to play it themselves tonight, Lyra is absurd with Dive Down. For people that want to play this themselves tonight, I'm going to export it and upload it to Stream Decker now so you can have it. Thanks everyone for hanging out. Remember, if you want to watch more of my stuff, if you didn't see us play this deck last time, you can find that video on my YouTube channel now and my website, so be sure to check out both of those. Yeah, you also have Treasure Map to fix, and like Sarkhan sees you more cards, etc. So I think the mana is pretty reasonable overall. All right, Jeskai control should now be updated on the Stream Decker. I'm gonna find someone to host here, and then I'm gonna take off.